Hey there, and welcome. Have you ever wanted to tell a story about the past and just make it feel alive, more descriptive? Well, today, we're going to unlock a grammar tool that does exactly that. We're mastering the past continuous, not just to paint a picture, but to build suspense and pull your listener right into the moment with you. Okay, let's get into it.
So, to get us warmed up, let's just set a scene. Picture this. The sun was setting. See, you can already feel the atmosphere, right? Something's in motion, the moment is kind of stretching out.
And we can keep building on that. A detective was walking down the misty street. Notice what we're doing here? We're not just listing off facts. We're describing this continuous background, an action that creates a whole mood.
And then, bam, something happens. Suddenly, a phone rang. A short, sharp action just cuts right into our ongoing scene. That interruption, that play between the long atmospheric background and a sudden event, that is the secret sauce for creating tension in a story. It's the magic we're exploring today.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with why this tense is so great for telling stories. Then we'll look at how to actually build it, when you should use it, and how it stacks up against the past simple. We'll even cover a really important exception before you get a chance to try it out yourself.
Right, so as we just saw with our detective, the past continuous is your best friend for setting the scene. It tells your audience what was already happening, creating this living, breathing world for the main action to just crash right into. It's all about building that rich background, that context and atmosphere.
Okay, so let's pop the hood and look at the mechanics. How do we actually put these sentences together? I promise it's a super straightforward blueprint that you're going to pick up in no time. So here's the crucial idea. We're talking about an action that was already in progress at a specific point in time. Think of it like a snapshot of an action right in the middle of happening. At 9 p.m. last night, I wasn't starting to study, I was studying. I was already in the flow. Now, what's really cool about this is how simple the formula is. It's just two parts. You take the past tense of the verb, to be, so was or were, and you add your main verb with an ing at the end. That's it. He was running. They weren't listening. Were you working? See? Simple. Let's walk through it step by step just to see how a full thought comes together. You choose your subject, say I, then you match it with the right form of to be, which is was, add your action verb with ing, studying, and boom, you've got a complete idea. I was studying. All right, so now that we know how to build it, let's talk strategy. When do you actually pull this tense out of your grammar toolbox? Well, there are a few key situations where it's absolutely the perfect choice. This slide really lays it all out for us. You can use it for an action happening at a really specific time, like at 8 p.m. I was watching TV, or for our classic detective scenario, a longer action that gets interrupted by a shorter one. It's also fantastic for showing two things happening at once, and of course, for setting that storybook scene. And this is a perfect example of two things happening at the same time. See, my working and his guitar playing. They were parallel, ongoing actions. Neither one stopped the other, they were just happening together, coexisting in that same slice of time. All right, this is the main event. Past simple versus past continuous. Now, I know this is a super common point of confusion, but trust me, when you see it visually, the difference becomes crystal clear. Think of it just like this timeline here. I was cooking dinner is that long bar. It's the background action that stretches over a whole period of time. But the phone rang, that's just a single point on the timeline. It's a short, finished event that happened during that longer action. The long action is past continuous, the short interruption is past simple. This comparison right here is everything. Seriously. In that first sentence, she was having a shower. The shower was already happening when he walked in. It was in progress. But in the second one, she had a shower. It means he arrived, and then, after that, she took a shower. The tense you pick completely changes the sequence of events. It tells a totally different story. Okay, now for a quick but super important rule that's going to save you from a really common mistake. It turns out, not all verbs enjoy being in the ing form, especially when we're talking about these continuous tenses. So take a look at these. Which one just sounds right to you? Number 1, they were knowing each other well. Or number 2, they knew each other well.
Yeah, if your brain immediately jumped to the second one, you're right on the money. They were knowing just feels clunky and wrong, and there's a really good reason for that.
And that reason is something called stative verbs. These are verbs that don't describe actions, they describe states of being, things like conditions, thoughts, feelings, or ownership. And since they aren't actions in progress, they just don't really work in a continuous form. Think about it. You don't do knowing. You just know. It's a state.
Here's a quick list of some of the most common ones to watch out for. Verbs like love, want, need, understand, all of these describe a state, not some dynamic, ongoing action. So you would always say, I wanted a coffee. You'd never say, I was wanting a coffee.
So we've covered the what, the how, the when, and even the what not to do. So what's the big takeaway here? Let's quickly recap the key points to get you ready to use this tense like a pro. Just remember these 4 crucial things. Past continuous is for the background. The formula is super simple. Was or were plus that verb ing. It's perfect for showing an action that was interrupted or happening at the same time as another. And of course, always watch out for those stative verbs.
And now, a final thought to take with you. Think about something specific that happened to you today. Maybe you got an important email, or maybe you just dropped your keys. What were you doing in the moments right before that happened? By answering that simple question, you are perfectly using the past continuous to set the scene. See? You're not just learning grammar anymore. You're becoming a better storyteller. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.
Now let's do the practice test, because only through practice you can achieve progress.